I'm going to show you a quicker technique for painting like pods and berries. Now we've done a lot of wetting the paper, wet into wet, and then putting colour in. I'm just going to show you a way of just painting directly on the paper, wet on dry, and then adding a core shadow into that. This is a technique which is great if you're painting something all at once and you don't intend to go back in then and add subsequent colour onto a dry image, because we don't have to worry about the paint sinking into the paper and being safe, so that it won't be dislodged by further washes. So this is an all at once painting of a rosehip. So I'll just zoom in. Hoping that's not going to blur. I'm going to mix up quite a big juicy petal of Alizarin crimson. That's showing it here. Okay. A bit more Alizarin crimson. And maybe a little splash of Winsor orange as well. I'm just going to paint this directly onto the rosehip. I'm loading up my brush really generously so that I can get it all painted on in just a minimum of strokes, so I avoid a hard edge. I need to paint this quickly, because if I stop painting at any time now, this hard edge will get a grip and be hard to, dislodge. Ooh, we've got a fantastic thunderstorm starting outside. I'm leaving a little highlight there, unpainted, and maybe a little one on the shoulder there as well. I'm avoiding the petal. Straight into this now. I want to go back in and mix up much stronger Alizarin crimson. And just zoom out so I can show you that. Much stronger Alizarin crimson. Much more viscous, okay? And let's have some sap green in with that to darken it down. So it's a darker colour. I'm going to paint that straight in to the core shadow, which I've decided is more towards the left hand and central part of the rosehip. There'll be darker passages under those leaves as well, and definitely around the base. That darker colour, and it's bleeding because it is pink. We're painting wet into wet because the initial wash is still wet. So again, I'm going to tip this, zoom out, tip it and let it run, just to soften those strokes and to let those reds mix in. Okay, now I need to darken it again, so much stronger Alizarin crimson. This time I'm just going to add a bit of blue, just to sort of add a bit of variety in colour, a little droplets of water to dilute it so that it'll go on strongly. And let's put a very powerful shadow in there now, core shadow, right there. And then blend it in under the neck, where those, I'm going to change the shape of that, looks a little bit too triangular for me. Those petals, those leaves. And again, let's tilt that, we'll zoom back out so I can show you that happening. Tilt it, and let that run and blend a little bit more, 360 degrees. just take some of that over to the right a little bit and under the base there to accentuate the curve. And that's basically the rosehip body itself. I'm going to drag some of this colour down into the stem, into the stalk, just so when I add the green colour in a minute, I've just got something to paint it into, so it'll look more joined. Then lastly, I'm going to use a thirsty brush, so I'm wetting my brush, then I'm drying it, and I'm just going to lift out some more highlights there. And these will be softer highlights than those hard chinks that I've put there. Let's have another bit of light bounce coming up from the base. Pressing that brush in and lifting out a swathe of colour. Okay. That will sort of bleed back in a little bit. And so I'm just going to keep on rotating this thirsty brush on that area, just to soften that edge a bit more, make it a bit more irregular. So clean thirsty brush each time, press in, and just keep trying to get back to the white of the paper. Rinse my brush every time because it will be full of pigment. I'm just going to press it in and blend it up irregularly and get a soft look. I'm going to stop there at that stage.